In the 2011 NBA Draft, Jimmy Butler ended up in the 30th position based on his performance in college. There were doubts about his work ethic, defensive and offensive ability as a point guard. Fast forward a decade later, he became a 4-times All-NBA third-team member, 5-times NBA All-Defensive second, and NBA steals leader. In 2023, Butler and the 8th-seeded Heat played in the 2023 NBA Finals, their second appearance in 4 years. So, there is no doubt that he was clearly underrated by scouts. But for him to be underrated, the scouts must have overrated some others. In today's video, we are going to take you on an interesting journey, which will investigate the careers of the recruits ranked higher than Butler. We are going to learn what happened to their careers. Before we go further, like and subscribe to the channel. It's free, but will help us a lot. Now, let's go back to Butler. If we are going to talk about those ranked higher than Jimmy Butler in the 2011 NBA Draft, it would be best for us to start with the highest ranked player for the draft. The number 1 draft for that year was Kyrie Irving. He joined the Cleveland Cavaliers on draft night straight from Duke University. Perhaps the biggest what-if on the entire draft is Kyrie Irving. Frankly, Kyrie is a champion, a multiple-time All-Star. Some even see him as the best ball handler of all time and a whole lot in between. But after those 6 years in Cleveland, Kyrie bounced team after team, and though he's shown his brilliance throughout each stop, there is a lack of legacy. But let's even see why he and others were ranked higher than Jimmy Butler. Before the draft, scouts considered Irving as the next Chris Paul. Honestly, you can't doubt their assessment if you watch Irving play in college. He was a strong contender for NCAA Freshman of the Year until suffering an injury to his right big toe during the 9th game of the season. On March 17th, the day before Duke played Hampton in the first round of the NCAA tournament, Irving returned for his first game since his injury. Duke advanced to the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament, but fell to Arizona. Irving scored 28 points in what turned out to be his last game for Duke. So they expected Kyrie Irving would immediately run the show for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like Chris Paul, Irving is a triple threat in the backcourt. He can dive to the rim, knock down a three, or find an open teammate for an easy bucket. He had the potential of being the best point guard in the league. Frankly, he didn't disappoint. He was named to the 2012 Rising Stars Challenge, where he played for Team Chuck. Irving scored 34 points in the game, going 8 of 8 from three-point range, and earned MVP honors. He also won the 2012 NBA Rookie of the Year award with 117 of a possible 120 first-place votes. Next on the list was Derrick Williams. He was the number 2 overall pick for the 2011 NBA Draft. Williams was hands down the best player in the Pac-10 and the main reason that Arizona was in first place in the conference. Listed on the team roster at 6'8", 240 pounds, he has the size and athleticism to play either forward position, but probably will not overpower matchups in the NBA, instead rely on his craftiness. A good head on his shoulders, a very competitive, smart, and unselfish player. Solid post-up game, his greatest strength was his mid-range game. He could finish with both hands and was great at converting three-point plays. Very efficient from the free throw line and three, even though he doesn't attempt many beyond the arc. Does not have elite athleticism and struggled a bit against fast players, especially in the wide areas. He is also a good rebounder and adequate defender, but will not be his specialty. No glaring weaknesses. Already has a good offensive repertoire and shows the ability to work on his game and improve. Had the mental makeup to be an asset in the NBA for several years. We also have Enes Kanter as the number 3 overall pick for the draft. When a college player is compared to Al Horford, that tells you all you need to know. Kanter is the big man with excellent size, strength, and polish. Combining brute strength with a high skill level, soft hands, long arms, and solid athleticism allows him to be a force in the paint. With a diverse offensive game and the ability to use post moves and strength to score on his opponents or face the basket and knock down mid-range jump shots, Kanter had all the tools to be the next big thing in the NBA. He had the strength to muscle through contact and finish. Those are the top 3 overall picks. Their stats are overwhelmingly better than Butler's. But he would have the last laugh years later. If you were enjoying this, like and subscribe to the channel, and let us know your thoughts on the players in the comments below. Now, let's go back to Butler. The 2011 NBA Draft has some exceptional talent who made an impact in the league. However, like every class before it, some fell short of expectations. Some of these players couldn't handle the hype and underperformed. We are going to start with the success stories. First, we have Tristan Thompson, who was drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers as the number 4 overall pick. After a one-and-done season at Texas, where Tristan Thompson averaged a pedestrian 13.1 points and 7.8 rebounds, and only led the Longhorns to the second round of the NCAA tournament. Tristan Thompson still managed to go in the top 5, drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers at the 4th overall spot. Since then, Thompson has made a name for himself as arguably the best offensive rebounder in the game. The Canadian forward has averaged 9+ rebounds in 3 of his 5 seasons and was tied for 4th in the NBA with 3.3 offensive rebounds per game last season. Later, he joined the Washington Wizards. Tristan Thompson was the guy for the Wizards to pair with then second-year blur of a point guard, John Wall. Thompson is everything the Wizards thought they were getting with Vesely, and then some. As he proved in the 2016 NBA Finals, Thompson was athletic enough to help swing the finals with his energy on the boards and ability to switch out onto the perimeter. He was never a star, career averages of 9.4 points per game, 8.7 rebounds per game, but he was a star in his role. At pick number 4 of any draft, that's good value. Then we have Kyrie Irving, the number 1 overall pick, one of the most accomplished players on the draft, and one of the few who will be remembered for generations to come thanks to their contributions to the NBA. He is one of the best scoring point guards in league history, and arguably the flashiest ball handler the NBA has ever seen. He's also an elite tough shot maker with a flair for the dramatic, sinking the most important shot of the 2015-16 season in Game 7 of the Finals that year to help James bring a title to the Cleveland Cavaliers. That Irving went number 1 in the 2011 draft class only speaks to his talent, as he played just 11 games at Duke before declaring for the draft. Finally, we have Kawhi Leonard, ranked 15th overall pick. Without question, the best player from his draft class. Kawhi Leonard is a 2-time Finals MVP, a 6-time All-Star, and a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, a player that morphed from being a limited offensive threat with otherworldly defensive potential to one of the best two-way players of all time, and a clutch performer at that. Lest we forget, Leonard led his teams past LeBron James in the 2014 Finals and past Steph Curry in the 2019 Championship Series. Now, we are going to talk about the underperformers. First up is Derrick Williams. Derrick was ranked number 2 overall. He lasted about a decade in the NBA, though he bounced from team to team throughout his career. But that's not the prediction most fans would have made when he first stepped foot in the NBA. Interestingly, he was being touted as arguably a better prospect than Kyrie Irving. Williams made the All-Rookie team for the 2011 season and even had a game of 31 points in a win against the Dallas Mavericks. So Timberwolves fans weren't crazy if they thought that Williams would become a nice 1-2 punch with All-Star Kevin Love on the team already. Nonetheless, the Wolves decided to pull the plug on their 2nd overall pick after just 2 seasons. This was shocking, considering that Williams bumped his scoring average by 4 points in a sophomore season. The Wolves traded him to the Kings, and he just became a journeyman after that with a bag. The next underperformer in this list is Bismack Biyombo, the number 7 overall pick of the draft, and one of those guys who you feel has been in the NBA for an absolute eternity. I know he's still just 32 years old and is giving the San Antonio Spurs some solid minutes off the bench. Give the man his flowers, he's one of the few Congolese hoopers that actually made it to the NBA and has stuck around for 12 seasons. However, he failed to establish himself as a top player, only making a handful of appearances from the bench. For a player ranked in the top 10 picks, he hasn't lived up to expectations. Finally, we have Brandon Knight from the University of Kentucky, who was drafted by the Detroit Pistons. Brandon Knight was the number 8 overall pick for the 2011 draft and one of those whose career is hard to describe. He was super talented, no doubt, averaging nearly 20 points per game for the woeful Phoenix Suns in 2016 at just 24 years old. There's no denying that he was one of those pure bucket getters with a smooth handle. But luck wasn't really on his side, which is ironic considering that he was looking like he would quickly become as good a scorer as Kyrie for the Cavs. Speaking of Kyrie, the man took Brandon Knight's ankles one night during All-Star Weekend in 2013. Knight still had the makings of a really solid NBA player, but injuries never stopped bothering him and he couldn't quite capture the moment he had earlier in his career. After leaving the Sun, he played very briefly for the Dallas Mavericks just 2 seasons. But he wasn't the same player. If you have enjoyed watching this video so far, like and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's go back to Butler. Although the 2011 NBA draft has seen many bursts, there is a player who has made a transformative change on his team. Interestingly, he wasn't even ranked in the top 29 that year. Enter Jimmy Butler. His story is nothing short of inspirational. Butler was abandoned by his father as an infant and was raised by a single mother in the Houston suburb of Tomball until age 13, when she kicked him out of the house. He lived in a series of temporary accommodations for years, often without parental supervision, before finding a permanent residence with a friend's family before his senior year of high school. Unlike many of his NBA peers, Butler's route to the professional league was far from conventional. He first showcased his basketball talents at Tyler Junior College, a humble beginning that's a far cry from the glitzy collegiate programs that typically feed into the NBA. His hard work and talent at Tyler caught the attention of Marquette University, where he transferred and honed his skills further. Butler's time at Marquette was a period of growth, both on and off the court. He developed into a versatile and tenacious player, qualities that would become hallmarks of his professional career. Despite his collegiate success, doubts lingered about his prospects at the next level. When he was drafted to the NBA, Butler landed at the tail end of the first round. The odds of becoming a league standout were stacked against him. But Butler has never been one to shy away from a challenge. Starting as a bench player, he quickly became known for his work ethic, defensive prowess, and ability to score when it mattered most. Butler's journey from bench warmer to NBA All-Star is a narrative of hard work paying off. He has been named an All-Star 5 times, a testament to his impact on the court. Butler's game is characterized by a rare blend of offensive skill and defensive tenacity, making him one of the league's most well-rounded players. Perhaps more impressive than his on-court achievements is Butler's leadership and work ethic. He has become renowned for his dedication to improving, often being the first to arrive and the last to leave during practice sessions. This commitment has not only elevated his game, but has also inspired his teammates to strive for excellence. Now, he is playing for the Golden State Warriors and has already improved the team. There is no doubt that Butler has exceeded expectations. I mean, his career highlights point to this fact. He has been named 6-time NBA All-Star, 2015 to 2018, 2020, and 2022. He is a 4-time All-NBA Third Team, 2017, 2018, 2020, and 2021, 5-time NBA All-Defensive Second Team, 2014 to 2016, 2018, and 2021, and NBA Eastern Conference Finals MVP, 2023. Also, he was named NBA Most Improved Player, 2015, and NBA Steals Leader, 2021. The 2011 NBA Draft had some incredible players who had an impact in the NBA, but there were some bursts too. However, Jimmy Butler has been the one player who has broken every barrier and surpassed expectations. Overall, the fallout shows the unpredictability of players' development from high school to professional basketball. The reasons for this unpredictable outcome include injuries, failure to cope with the hype, inability to adapt their style to suit the league, and sheer bad luck. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the game's biggest stars. We'll see you in the next one.